You guys want to add anything?
I'm pretty much on the same boat as you.
Yeah, I might not be invested in these characters or the series, but I'm excited for this fight for both of you guys. Because Bill, you're a big Naruto fan, and you say Madara's an epic villain. Sean, you've wanted this fight for a long time, and you love Bleach. So I've just been looking forward to just listening to you guys talk about it.
Hopefully our talks didn't put you to sleep at least.
Well, I've also been playing Pokemon.
Ah, that's true.
Well, trying to contribute where I can, and by the way, just throwing this out there, whilst this talk has been going on, I got on my low tick.
Oh wow, already?
Yeah, I evolved Phoebus.
Oh damn.
Nice.
It took me for ages to get that. Maybe I'm just bad at Pokemon.
Maybe.
Okay, add that to my gravestone.
haven't even-
Add that to my gravestone. Hashtag Bill is bad at Pokemon. With the hashtag as well.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten all the badges yet. I've wanted to assemble my team first.
Oh wow.
Do you have a poison type on that team?
Yes.
Ah, might as well get a gas mask out for it then, huh?
My poison type is Roselia. Although I plan on evolving that into a Roserade at some point.
I was before
And
Krogan.
speaking of poison types, Bill, one of their most dangerous moves is toxic.
Ah, we have a good segue. Yes. That didn't involve porn.
Nice.
So, people, viewers, fans of this show, or just people that just clicked on the channel and was just like, what the fuck is this video about? We've talked about a majority of positive things on this channel, I reckon. I feel like from the start of this series, me, Jaru, Richard, you, and Mate have more or less been very positive about Death Battle and, of course, just anything to do with the topic, right?
Mhm.
Well, this topic might be, probably one of my sassiest from one of our co-hosts. But I feel like this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while because Death Battle is such an entertaining show for it's just a good show for nerd culture. It brings all it brings all the series together, video games, movies, comics, manga, singers at one point, wrestlers, product placement. It's just fun to discuss these things. However,
Yeah, also at some point in your life, you've probably wondered, hey, if these two fought, who would win?
Yes.
However, with every beautiful oasis, there's a harsh desert to get to it. And in a way, and to be fair, me and Richard and Jaru have already touched on toxic versus community, which I'll leave a link to that in the description, if I even bother to remember it, because I always forget to do that. Yeah, let's specifically talk about Death Battle fandom, because the fandom has to be the most divided and split community, even more than the clans in Naruto. It's ridiculous, really, just how mean-spirited a lot of them can be, how harsh they can be, and, no offense, how up their own ass they could be.
Don't get us wrong. There's definitely a lot of good Death Battle fans out there.
Of
Oh,
course.
definitely.
If you're one of those good Death Battle fans, don't worry. We aren't attacking you specifically because you guys are all right.
You know, if you're not a toxic fan, then you wouldn't necessarily find what we're about to say offensive. If anything, you would most likely agree with us.
Well, the definition of toxic is typically described as a very harmful or pervasive or insidious way.
Yeah, so for instance, if you're someone who is negative in the sort of review sense like us, where we watch an episode, we didn't really enjoy it, but you know, it is what it is. That to me is not someone toxic. That's just someone who went into something and just didn't like it. Like, if you went into a
That is
restaurant...
called being a critic.
I mean, I guess so, but you're not toxic for doing it. Like, if you go to a restaurant and you have a burger and you didn't like it, and you let the chef know that, you know, you just gave your forte. And you're not specifically telling them to change up how they do things, because you're just that person it doesn't entertain. Death Battle is not for everyone. let's be real here. There are people who are
Right.
going to look at Death Battle and be like, I don't agree with their methods, how they figure out a winner. And if you want to do your own sort of show like this, like Crossover X has, Cartoon Fight Club, I'm not even sure if they still do videos anymore, I could be wrong, or just any verse show that wants to tackle verse debating, go for it. But I definitely feel like Death Battle has brought up a majority of these verse shows or verse debates, and it's unlocked the door for the very toxic side to come out. And specifically, I want to talk about, I'm not going to name this individual, but when I mentioned this to Yang the Insane that I was going to be talking about, you know, toxic fans instead of just toxic verse community, she brought up an individual which I'm sure you two are probably familiar with, who is an infamous Death Battle fan, who got a bit angry over Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. Not specifically the episode, but people who didn't find it interesting when it was announced.
I was about to say, are you talking about? I honestly thought you meant they just didn't like the episode. I'm like, well, we already had that person on the podcast, so I hope you don't mean him.
Yeah, again, not going to mention their names. And after this one, I'm going to be talking about a certain reaction, but I'm sure Mate would also like to contribute to that.
Oh, I'm going to be talking about a few of those.
Yeah.
I bet. Now then, it's okay to be a fan of Death Battle. It is 100% okay. And it is also okay to not be interested in an episode. We weren't interested in Storm vs. Korra. We still watched it. Me and Sean liked it. Mate didn't. Mate is not wrong for not liking the episode. He tried to enjoy it.
Parts of it, but
You get what I mean. Like, you tried to go into it with a positive mindset. It didn't appease you. Alright, big deal. And, you know, there's over 100 episodes of Death Battle that you can watch and enjoy.
we're getting closer and closer to 200.
Yeah, so if there's that
Wow.
one episode that, if I know, right? If there's
I
that,
feel old.
if there's that one episode you don't like we already name dropped him. Kia didn't like the idea of Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. I'm not sure if he still does, but apparently he didn't like it when it was announced. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure a majority of Deadpool fans didn't like the idea of Pinkie Pie fighting Deadpool. They were either Dante or the Mask.
Yeah, I've also heard MLP fans who didn't like the matchup.
Right. Now, I mean, personally, I thought the episode was funny. I wouldn't say it's the funniest episode I've ever seen, but I feel like it was charming in its own way. Now,
I thought it was funny, I just didn't think it should have been the finale.
yeah, I guess being a finale episode's a bit weird.
But yeah, there was behind the scenes stuff going on, so whatever.
Now, this individual, and to be honest, I'm also acknowledging, not just specifically this guy or gal, whoever, I don't know. This is also for anyone who is like
Wherever
this.
they identify as.
Yes. And this goes out to all people who act like this. So this person, let me actually just get the message my friend sent me about this. This person got so pissy with the fact that, you know, Kia didn't like the episode, or he didn't like the episode announcement, so they blocked him. And then Yang the Insane took it upon herself to be like, well, you know, let's go into this and talk about this. You know, it's a bit harsh. Now, I'll be given the benefit of that. We've all had our moments we might have blocked someone for petty reasons. Everyone's human. We might have done something like that. But to then block the person for trying to just say Death Battle don't care about haters, this is what she messaged me. That all she said was, Death Battle appreciate the fans but don't really care about what haters think. And for that, she got blocked for it and insulted by this said person. What the fuck?
Yeah, bit of a dick move.
So they're saying it's a good thing Death Battle don't get bullied. I'm just baffled why you would act that way. And this individual went a bit so far as that one day Yang Insane decided to speak out about them publicly. I'm not going to say where. So what did this individual do?
Over there, and up there.
Hey, I committed the terrorist joke. You got... Yeah. Your taste is appreciated in comedy. Actually, no. What is that?
Thank you.
What is that GIF picture? Ah, a man of culture. That's it.
Yes.
That's the classic meme. Now, what this person did, honestly, just made me lose faith in humanity. So, Yang Insane, you know, not rudely, I should say. I want to be clear, guys. I would show the post, but it got deleted, which is a good segue, is that this person reported this post for, no joke, leaking personal information. Even though all it did was just explain the drama between her, Kier, and this individual.
The only thing I can say to that is my best impersonation of the Splash from TF2. What?
That's a good summary, like, why get so offended over someone just saying, chill the F out? Like, okay, you are a fan of the show, but if you're going to attack people who aren't interested, this isn't anything to do with the entire show. Like, if they were going ahead to, similar to what we brought up in Storm versus Korra, if they're going ahead and attacking the people behind the show, insulting them, which I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to talk about, then by all means, tear those fuckers apart. Because that is just uncalled for a show that's just meant to just be a fun little pastime.
Yeah, roast their asses.
Absolutely, take the piss out of them. They deserve it. But if this person is just saying, don't let the haters get to you, and you are trying to block them on every social media account, and then try and get one of their accounts permanently deleted just because they said something not even they didn't say anything offensive, they just... So, like, if this individual only showed... Okay, now to be fair, I don't encourage, you know, leaking personal, like, messages if it's done with ill intent. But if this is just to give fair criticism and to bring into light this whole drama, I don't see that as a bad thing. In fact, I feel like something like this sort of thing should be looked on and reflected on, like, okay, maybe I was a little bit of a dick. But no, this individual tried to get their account banned. Apparently, as Yang the Insane said it, apparently he reported her 7 times because she got like 7 messages saying, you need to delete this, you need to delete that. Like, first off, anyone who tries to like ban someone's account, like permanently remove them off a platform just over an opinion, to bring back the shirt idea, would you kindly go fuck yourself? As kind as I could say it.
Would you kindly screw off?
Pretty much, because...
Proboscis would say.
Yeah. Like, personally, who cares if no one likes this episode? Like, who cares? Hell, my entire family hate Halo. Who cares? I like it.
I'm the only Halo fan in my family.
It's pretty much the same with me. Does it mean I should ban
No one
my... Should I ban
No
my
one else
family?
knows what it is.
Oh, at least my family somewhat know what it is. But does this mean I should kick my family out of the house? No, because I don't own it. But, two, who cares? If you personally enjoy it, that's up to you. But then...
Yeah, if other people don't enjoy a thing, well, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah. Like, who cares? Are you going to get angry just because someone else likes chocolate ice cream over your vanilla one?
Yeah.
I say both are great.
Indeed. It's like, what do you prefer, vanilla or chocolate? Why not both?
Or you can be like my brother Leo and go, screw both those flavors. Strawberry, bitches.
Now,
That's also a possibility.
Now,
I know the full name, yeah, but
from one Death Battle fan to a quote-unquote nother. Now, I can understand doing reactions on YouTube. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of reactions. Obviously, I watch You Only Mate and Sean because they're my mates.
Thank you.
hey,
And,
feel special.
but here's the thing. I do kind of see why people love reactions. Because you get to, one, share the reaction that you probably had when this thing was, you know, done. I enjoy seeing the reactions to, like, Death Battle, Mandalorian, or any show or movie I watch, because I love sharing the experience. Pardon me. That was a burp.
Yeah, and there's also, like, moments where I'm watching Death Battle and I find this moment really funny, and then I watch someone watching it for the first time, and their laugh actually makes me kind of appreciate the moment more.
Exactly. Now, again, I'm not a reaction heavy fanatic. However, when it comes to doing reactions on YouTube, especially if it's a copyrighted product, and you try and put it on YouTube, chances are you're gonna try and have to find solutions to get around it. Like, for instance, Ruby, a lot of YouTubers tend to just have the timestamp at certain bits, and you could... I don't understand why people don't do it, just watch it along the timestamp. You know, then you would know what the reaction is.
Or, like, there's this one channel who, yeah, they get hit with, like, copyright when they do Death Battle reactions, but what they do is they have their little talk beforehand and afterwards, but their reaction to the actual episode is linked for free on another website.
Yeah, I actually know who you're talking about there.
But now here's the thing, though. Now, here's another way people have gotten around this issue. Either they put their logo over the thing and have it a little bit transparent so that you can still kind of see what it is, and they also alter, even that they vocode the sound effects or stuff like that. But most
yeah, that's also a valid option. Hell, yeah. I know someone who did a reaction to Korra vs. Storm by having an image of, well, Korra's tombstone over it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if that would count as toxic, but oof.
Another example I've seen to get around if people want the actual episode. There's a guy I watched. He'll have it transparent, and then some parts he cuts out the episode being shown, but you hear the audio from it. Then he'll have it on screen like seconds later.
That's also
transparent.
That's valid. And it's good to have on screen the the more important moments. Because here's the thing. Most people aren't going to say, we want to see the whole video for the reaction. Let's be honest.
Like most people are just going to skip to the fight.
Yeah. Or they just want to see the funny parts of the analysis. This individual, and maybe some other reactors, I hope not. I hope this is just, one of those minorities. This person has spread misinformation about the people behind Death Battle, saying they're purposely targeting them, saying, oh, they don't want me to do reactions, they don't want me to steal their money. But how he got around this, he decided to put fuck Roosterteeth as a hashtag over his image.
So,
it's kind of profiting over someone to give content while also insulting the exact same people. That's a dick move.
Okay, I'll level with you. Like, I've had my reactions get blocked. It happens. But I also don't monetize anything, so I don't really give a shit. Well, no, I monetize some videos, just not reactions, because that's kind of a grey area. And yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, just trying to badmouth all the creators and just be like, oh, fuck the people that make this show I watch. Yeah, that makes you look good and not like a whiny man-child at all.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I've been hit with copyright on my own channel as well. Even when I'm playing video games, there may be a moment I can't edit out because it's important. Like The Last of Us Part 2, there's a scene that's very important to the story, but it also has copyrighted music. So I just had to take the bullet and just have it be there, and the company just got monetized for it. They probably got only 2 cents from that video.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Like, if they just claim it and it's monetized by the original creators, but it's still viewable, then yeah, okay.
Do you know what's funny? Because this individual, when he gets mad that they're monetizing off his videos, he has a Patreon. So he's asking people for money. So what are you losing when you still have a Patreon?
He's losing his dignity.
Again, people, we're not trying to insult the people, but this type of attitude It's something you would do in like year 6 or 6th grade, I guess, for our American viewers.
I'm not trying to insult, but I'll sass.
Yeah, sass is not insulting. It's insassing. That's my quote of the day.
Oh boy. But I know a lot of reactors have had problems with, their content getting stuff. And Ben's even come out and said, hey, we're gonna do our best to try to help you out.
Yeah,
because fun fact, it's a YouTube bot.
This is something people
Roosterteeth themselves aren't in control of it. It's not someone manually just searching YouTube and just twirling their mustache going, oh, what's this? Someone reacting and loving the content we're making? Not on my watch.
That's stupid. Like, people tend to forget this. Roosterteeth and Death Battle are not a ginormous company like Warner Bros, Disney, and stuff like that. They're still, in a way, somewhat independent, and they still have a very limited budget. So, honestly, any exposure is good exposure. I mean, maybe not misinformation, which is a good segue to this whole point. This person then tries to lie on Twitter, lie in the YouTube comments that Death Battle and Roosterteeth are targeting their content. Why? Like, that's a legit thing. Why? And if you're going to say, oh, because they give me criticisms, it's like, there's another YouTuber I know who is absolutely tearing them apart with criticism, yet he never gets, like, flagged with copyright strikes or anything like that. Or even hell, we've been negative on this podcast. We've, said this and that. It's like, oh, we didn't like this episode, blah, blah, blah. We've never had a video struck. In fact, funny enough, we've been struck by Nickelodeon instead.
Yeah, and I also want to throw out, so I did a discussion video with Max talking about, like, all these episodes. It was after Poe vs. Iron Fist and onwards. So it was when we were talking about all those Ruby matchups.
Okay.
So
Good
I had the
video,
soundtrack I had the soundtracks from all those death battles we talked about. Various Ruby songs that would fit the characters we were talking about. I only got flagged for one thing, and that was Batman music from a video game. Yeah, like, it happens.
Like, we're not going to justify copyright, because let's be real here, YouTube's copyright bot is broken. It's a good idea on paper, because let's be real here, getting humans to watch millions of videos a day to find copyright stuff is inhuman. It's insane.
Yeah, like, are you mad?
Don't get me wrong, I love YouTube, but at best I probably watch at least 20 videos a day. And that includes short videos. You expect me, alright, Bill, we want you to watch these Markiplier scary videos, which are each nearly an hour long, and find any copyright stuff in there. And he has at least over 70 videos of it. I love Markiplier, but I would be marked out after, like, probably 20.
That would just be like, what? Why do I have to do this for money?
Heck, you might even get unlucky. You might have to watch Keemstar videos for copyright.
But to be fair, he's going to be retiring at the end of the year, Bill, so it's okay.
Indeed it is.
I have not seen a single video of his.
Bless your heart, mate. Bless your heart.
Well, this isn't about Keemstar. This is about...
that was it. Sorry. But segueing, so YouTube's bot is a good idea on paper. It's just unfortunate that if you show even a slight bit of copyrighted material, unless you can somehow alter it to make it slip under the radar, you're going to be hit with copyright. It's not the people specifically targeting you. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Death Battle are targeting reactors. They love reactors.
Yeah, I can confirm this. So, you guys know the channel Dwayne and Jazz? Like, they do reactions to Death Battle all the time.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are great.
Yeah, Death Battle sent them a copy of the card game.
There you go.
There's also people like Riz Grestar back in the day. He was doing death battle reactions. In fact, he's kind of the one who wanted to put them on the map. And they reached out to him. They loved his videos.
Yeah, and Riz, though, he is coming back in 2022, so...
I'm so excited for that. The prodigal son is back.
I would dare say the OG Death Battle Reactor, one of the OG Death Battle Reactors. And one of the least toxic people. See, be a reactor like Riz. Be like him.
Yeah, and also
be like Queen and Jazzy, and just like the show.
In fact, he's actually a good example to bring up. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. He disagreed with that episode entirely, but he still enjoyed it. And he even said, good job, to the winner. And yeah, he didn't get flagged when he gave them criticism, which was fair criticism. I think he was fair with it. So why did they not target Riz when he was being negative?
Yeah. I also want to throw out the whole, Death Battle Love Reactors thing. They sent me merch after my Dream episode happened.
They even mentioned the cake.
Yeah!
He
the cake
made
got
Lewis...
mentioned in the commentary!
He made Lewis eat a cake on Twitter.
I did... Just full disclosure, I didn't actually tell Luis to do that. That was just a surprise.
Luis was just like, hey, this is a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
So it's trying to... okay, if you're angry about copyright, understandable. But if you're going to then try and, take your anger out and spreading misinformation, that's just toxic behaviour, because what does that do for you?
It just makes me not want to watch you.
Which, funny enough, I'm not going to, again, not mention the YouTubers that do this, but this particular YouTuber kind of got flagged when he then started to, let's say, get angry at a certain episode that came out, and people started calling him out on his toxic behaviour. So there's some dignity in the Death Battle fandom. There's some.
It's just that it just feels like Death Battle has a toxic fan base because of how vocal the minority of this toxic fan base really is.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about certain toxic reactors, or shall I move on to my final toxic group?
There is one who I might have another toxic group to go into. There's a reactor I've seen here and there, particularly when it comes to Power Rangers.
Oh, I know who this is.
Oh,
yeah. So
is this particularly the one that charges a totally reasonable price to watch a reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, Bill, it's oh wait, no, not that guy. I was thinking someone else.
Again, we're not trying to send hate to these YouTubers. If you do know who they are, and if you start sending hate to them, if you figure out who they are, I'm not interested, because we don't support that type of behavior. Being toxic,
no, we don't.
Being toxic doesn't get rid of toxicity. We're just trying to spread why these are bad.
But yeah, it's just no, this guy gets particularly bad when Power Rangers are involved. When the Dragon Zord lost to Mechagodzilla, they put their reaction behind a paywall on their Patreon for over $700.
Which, I think in the UK, that's at least £600.
Can I just say...
I could book a flight to America for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Why would I give it to someone just so I can watch them be angry that Power Rangers lost again?
Mate's decision. Watch someone get angry at Power Rangers, or go visit Sean. That's pretty much the choice here.
And do you know what? I know Mate's going to speak more on this, but if you're kind of profiting over someone else's work then as well, you're charging... I'll be amazed if someone actually paid that much money to see that.
I hope no one has paid them that.
That is...
Hey, if you did, leave a comment, and we will feel so bad for you.
I will send... I might actually look up, therapist websites and just say, get help.
I'll send you $100.
Because that's a scam, people. I feel like all those Indian country where they try and use those credit fraud phone calls would look at that guy and be like, wow, you are a despicable person. you should definitely join us. Because oh, what happened?
Wow, that was so toxic. We're talking about something so toxic. Sean left.
My gas mask broke, so I had to get a new one.
Oh god. Oh no. Sean, don't breathe in the toxicity.
I'm good. I got the mask on.
But here's the thing as well, like, so you're charging people 700 quid just to watch this one random reaction. Let me think how much it costs to either watch your only mate's reaction to said episode. I think it goes above 10. Oh wait, no, it's free. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying money to see some guy be miserable about it. Like, I might as well.
There's a guy
pay to
who's
punch
been.
a guy's balls.
There's a guy doing Death Battle reactions who just started season 6. He says in every video that he thinks it's stupid to charge people to watch a reaction.
And he's charged. Oh wait, is this the same person?
No, this is a different guy.
Okay, thank goodness. For a
There
moment.
you go, Bill.
Okay, I was starting to think like, am I the only hypocrite on the internet?
I changed my icon for this conversation.
But that's true though. Like, okay, to be fair, you could argue, well, Roosterteeth and Death Battle do those podcasts for first members, but here's the difference. That's to see it early.
Yeah. Just like how we pay to see Death Battle early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also other perks for first membership, like get a discount in the store, get access to first exclusive content.
It's and not only that,
And
it's literally the next day for most of their content. It's like, okay, you can see it a day early for just like, I think I paid $4.99.
I think I pay like $6 a month.
They go by yearly.
Oh, that's also a smart decision.
Yeah, it works out cheaper, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I pay yearly. But
The idea is that a perk like that is not a bad thing if you get other factors.
I'm not trying to rip like Patreon, Subscribe Star, and all that sort of stuff, or even OnlyFans. You know, if
Oh yeah, no.
like those are they're legal to use, but don't try and scam people. Because what do you get after you've seen that reaction? You essentially wasted $700 on potentially a 15-minute video.
Is it a big old pile of nothing?
I could
No idea because I refuse to watch it.
I could buy 50 Endgame movies with that money and get more satisfied with each one of them.
Go on, Bill.
Now, that thing, like this whole like charging a ridiculous amount of money, that's not the only toxic thing this person's done.
Oh god, I think I know where this is going to. Brace
And of
yourselves,
course
people.
it is to do with Power Rangers again.
I feel like the first thing I brought up is gonna get overshadowed by this. Because this one makes me scratch my head and actually feel despair.
Go on, mate. Why don't you inform people?
Well, basically, okay, this could have been a joke.
Right.
Basically, he talked about the idea of, well, because he wasn't happy the Megazord lost. And he thinks that it should have won. And, yeah, he basically hinted at the fact that he might consider tasing the Death Battle crew in Austin. Even showing off a stun baton.
Which I feel like you can actually buy that with Amazon Prime. I think I've seen that advertised.
Oh.
Yeah. And, like, okay, yeah, this could have been a joke.
Yeah.
But there have been people that do take Death Battle that far. Like, one time Ben was at a con and someone just smacked him and ran away. And Ben had to explain to the police why this person was that mad.
Oh Christ, I know this story, I've been told it.
It's just like there's a difference between being passionate about a character, and then there's that.
Like, to bring an old joke, you know how I always go with the Sasuke and Hiei, look what they've done with my little boy. Am I going to assault Ben and Chad for it? No, I might have a little banter with them like, by the way, you're going to pay for what you did to Sasuke. But that's just a joke.
I'm legit sneezing right now. This whole conversation is making me sick.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
It really is toxic. Hide your children! Men and women first! Wait, no, that's the wrong order.
We gotta go back into quarantine.
Oh god.
But
Where your man?
Initiate lockdown again.
only this time it's the toxic fan bases. And it's just like, yeah, there's an example like Bill's pulling up where it's like, he can just do that joke over and over again, but he's fine and he can cope with the loss to Sasuke.
But I feel like with this individual that we're bringing up, I wouldn't be surprised if they were being legit. I mean, I've seen people, this is specifically haters, so not fans at least, that have sent death threats and even said, we want to kill Ben and Chad.
You can't even consider them fans if they do that shit.
Oh yeah, no, fuck those people.
Yeah.
Not like that, Jesus.
Also, no, we're not going to dive into
Definitely not like that.
We're
It'll
not
be a miracle if that happens to them.
Heyo.
Also, yeah, we're not going to talk about death threat toxic fans because what needs to be said about that? Like, don't. Just don't do that. I don't need to say any more.
If you do, would you kindly get out of our podcast?
Like, if we have to explain why being a fan and sending death threats is wrong, you're not sane. Even Carnage would look at you and think, this guy's crazy.
I mean, Yang the Insane looks sane compared to that. She has insane in her name, hence the joke.
And she told me something she did with a Pepsi bottle once and it gives me nightmares.
Oh, that.
I'll let your imagination...
I gotta hear that story after this recording.
I'll let your imagination try and fill the blank in that.
You filled it with Coke. There you go.
Yeah, let's say that.
I really hope the sound effect didn't make a call on the mic.
So,
I think you're fine, but...
have we, should we move on we're at the 2 hour mark, we should be wrapping this up soon. Shall we talk about toxic critics? Is something I wanted to bring up. So I think we've explained...
If I can still talk about just, like, toxic groups afterwards, sure.
Yeah.
What do you mean by toxic critics, per se?
Okay, so now, there's YouTube... your reviewers like us, like Richard, like there's so many people who watch verse things and they give their forte, and fair enough, they want to give what they think would make a good verse thing, and no one's wrong for having a different opinion. There are definitely YouTuber reviewers I've watched and I'm like, I disagree with you, but they're civil about it. However, let's just say some YouTubers can sometimes just be a bit too negative. Like, that they watch Death Battle just to shit on it. And you kind of get the impression that you clearly don't like the show, yet it feels like you're just profiting over the views you get. And the reason I definitely believe that, because when you compare my views from like my Death Battle videos to my gaming videos, my Death Battle ones majority do better than most of those videos. And
I mean, just look at my Death Battle meme in my last Among Us video.
Look at my Death Battle reactions compared to Ruby reactions.
Now, these type of YouTubers, again, these are just a minority. I know they're just a minority, not everyone is like these. However, how they kind of talk about the Death Battle team kind of feels harsh. A writer for, I think both Death Battle and even Roosterteeth themselves, the Spawn of Satan, which honestly is a bit
Why?
because they don't like their writing. Not specifically a Death Battle, just their writing. Again, now, similar to what Mate said about the taser thing, this could just be a dark joke. But I think trying to say you are the spawn of the most evil thing in the universe over their writing skills is petty.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people were thinking that with Liam solely because you killed Ben 10. Ah.
Oh yeah, that's actually happened before on this podcast in particular.
Oh God.
We don't talk about that video. It no
Who
longer
do you think
exists.
had to get rid? Who do you think had to cut it? And the video does exist on my computer, and my computer alone, where it's staying safe.
I'm just gonna give someone a call. Yes.
I can quote
I
Red
need you to
versus
destroy
Blue.
his. I need you to destroy his computer. Erase everything.
Yeah, if I can paraphrase Sarge from Red vs. Blue, I think what we need to do is take a computer, put it in a box, cover it in chains, encase it in cement, and then find the deepest, darkest part of the ocean to drop it in.
But I need my computer.
Terminate Sean as well. Your payment will be in the mail as always.
What? Oh hi, when did you get here?
Flash Blake, what are you doing?
I feel like we need to quickly summon the Dragon Balls quickly and just get Sean up. This is going to be so awkward to edit. Now I know how Sean feels.
Do you think?
I'll
I
have.
could have made that worse.
All I'll say is, never again, Bill. Learn your lesson.
So anyway, now here's the thing. Like I've said on the podcast, I think I've oversaid it now. If you have issues with an episode and you don't like it, fair enough. You are completely right to do so. However, if you are very clearly not a fan of the show and you primarily take it, like, just decide to watch each episode just to shit all over it, shit on the writers, shit on the animators, that's just mean. Like, I don't want to say it's bullying, so I don't think it's bullying, because they haven't directly messaged them and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're just coming off as petty. Like, why spend so much energy spreading so much negativity? If you don't like Death Battle, fair, but why not try and make content that spreads more positivity? You know, like, speak about a show you love. Like, heck, I may not be a huge fan of, like, Cartoon Fight Club, but hey, why not just, if you do love that show, speak to the heavens about it and say why you think it's amazing. You know, at least it's positive and I'd want to watch it, even if I'm not a fan of it. Because I'm always up to seeing, like, the benefits of saying, like, I had some issues with The Last of Us Part 2, yet I enjoyed watching videos where they actually expressed the good parts of the game. Because, you know, it's positive. I want to see more of that. I've seen too much negativity on YouTube and it's just, pun intended, toxic to watch.
Yeah. I will also just add, the whole just making most of your existence off of just trash talking a piece of media or franchise or whatever, I think that's a really sad and pathetic existence.
Yeah, again, we're trying to not make it sound like we're insulting, but it kind of is it is like that. Why just be this
It's
such
just like
negative icon? Like, even Simon Cowell
It's just-
learned to
it's
smile
also like-
sometimes.
oof.
Yeah, the moment you make Simon Cowell look positive, you've done something wrong.
And I mean, at least I've even heard Gordon Ramsay say he loves fish and chips.
Yeah. Like, these are the most negative people
Yeah, it's just
in
like,
media
look, if you-
that have a positive side.
Yeah, and if you clearly just don't enjoy a show, then why do you keep going back to it? Oh, right, yeah, because then your view count would tank.
Let's be real here, that is true. Like, a good quote from Nostalgia Critic, and I know people want to rip on this. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Now, if you're a critic and your job is to watch something to critique it, it's fair enough. But here's the thing, though. YouTube's not a job. Regardless of if you can make money from it,
No, it's not.
So you can make any content you want. Like, for instance, I love making my gaming videos. I even like it over my podcast. I like my podcast, I get to talk with you guys. You guys are fun to talk with, and I think, you know, I want to, like, keep it, like, in my memory box so I can go back and watch it and be like, oh, that was a funny moment, you know, when we made the Blake plushie kill Sean. You know, same with Among Us videos. I can get...
Almost kill Sean.
And like,
Yeah, Sean, some advice, if she ever goes after you, just offer her a body pillow or something to lewd to do with Yang.
Can I give her the Jotaro body pillow? Is that good enough?
No, it specifically has to be Yang. She has particular tastes.
How about an autograph signed Yang Funko? That'll do.
oh, sure.
That might do it, actually.
Like,
But,
She's a thirsty plushie.
regardless,
so yeah, like, here's the thing. I'm gonna admit, I can be toxic myself when I play Among Us. Let's be real here, and it's probably on Wolf's channel. I could be a toxic bitch. But at the same time,
There's also something on your channel.
it's also on my channel. My poor chair. I wouldn't be surprised if the arm of my chair's broken because of the amount of abuse I gave it.
Yeah, I the other day I went back and rewatched that moment where I convinced Solid Storm to vote Sean out. It's just like how angry you sounded, and the way like Karen Aiden just came into the conversation just laughing.
Do you know what? This is actually a good segue into it. You could be negative but funny, not spiteful. Like, I was bitter, but I had a laugh of it with my mates. Like, you could be negative.
Nostalgia Critic?
Like, Nostalgia Critic, he's a good example. He could be incredibly negative, but he doesn't mean it in a meaningful spirit. Heck, The Room, hands down probably one of the worst movies in existence. Yet, despite how negative Nostalgia Critic was, that movie's viewer count went through the roof to the point they made a parody movie of it with the original creators of that movie. Like, have fun with your criticism, you know? Don't be spiteful towards the people who make it, because ultimately, why am I going to want to watch that? It's not fun. It's depressing at times, really. You know, why am I going to want to watch someone be miserable about something for like... Sometimes videos like that could go on for an hour. Why am I going to waste an hour of my life watching someone complain about something and nitpick it? It's just sad to watch, really. After the first 10 minutes, I'll probably be like, screw this, I'm watching Bob's Burgers.
If I want to watch a critic, I'd rather watch someone who's actually like entertaining, like Unusual Suspect.
I personally prefer Yahtzee on Zero Punctuation, but that's just me.
You know, he's a good example of someone who rips a game apart, but he's not being mean-spirited about it. He's not shitting on the developers or anything like that. Sometimes even when he rips into a game, he still encourages people to go play it.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, he's like, man, this kind of sucks, but this has a really cool fucking soundtrack that you should get the game just for that song.
And heck, his videos are only 4 minutes long, yet I'm entertained by that. I can be entertained by a 4-minute critic who's negative, but still so fucking hilarious. But some of these people could go on for an hour of just being so negative and spiteful. Why am I going to want to watch you? When I could just watch a critic whose only 4-minute videos make me laugh my guts out. I just don't understand it. But this is going to lead to the main point I was going to make. I know why they do it. Views. People love negativity mostly. Look at newspapers. You rarely ever see headlines of the positive things happen. People want the sad stuff to get angry about so they can rant about it on Twitter.
I mean, there is a story I've seen in a newspaper that made me laugh.
Oh, yeah?
So basically, someone was just alone in their flat. They look across the street, and they see what looks like a silhouette of someone being hung. So, of course, they call the police, because, you know, you think you've just seen someone be lynched. And there's all these, like, police and paramedics, I think, like, up to 40 of them, going up to this building. Yeah, it turns out it was an Iron Man statue. I think one of the police officers even took a photo with it.
Okay, see, that type of stuff there is entertaining, because it's like, oh good, this is horrible, but then, you know, the payoff of it is just funny. And my final point about this whole thing, like, many of these critics think being dark and edgy and being rude is funny. Sometimes it can be. You can be edgy and funny, but many of these guys I don't laugh at. I just sometimes think they're despicable or just mean-spirited. Richard is a good example bringing up, not as a bad review, I should say. you know what? He can be negative at times. But sometimes, specifically, because let's say there's an individual he tends to get too angry about. But most of the time, no, he bigs up Death Battle. He congratulates them on that, either getting on trending and stuff like that. He can be toxic too, let's not deny that. I think we can all be toxic sometimes. But Richard knows Death Battle is fun.
I confirm.
Yeah. Like, Death Battle is fun. He enjoys it, regardless if he disagrees with an episode. Richard gives it his all, he gives his opinion, and he has fun with it. And he can be funny in his reviews as well. In fact, you should definitely watch some of his reviews. They are, including his latest one. It is really fun. I just don't see the whole point of just being negative and watching a show for the views. Like, just make content you have fun with. Or if you do have fun just being an absolute jerk, then stay away from me. Just simple as that.
And the only other exception I think Bill might be okay with is that if you just play a jerk as a character, but at that point you have to identify when it's a character and when it's actually you.
Hint, hint, Richard. But yeah, that's actually a good example. Like, I brought him up many times now. Nostalgia Critic. If you watch his Doug reviews and his Nostalgia Critic reviews, you can clearly tell which one's the character and which one is Doug. You know, Doug is more slow-spoken, he's more mature, and he's a bit quirky and funny. Like, I enjoy when him and his brother are watching the movie they're about to review and making notes. It's really funny. Especially when it's a bad movie. Like, you should watch those, they're great. But then when you watch Nostalgia Critic, you can clearly tell that's just an exaggerated character. I guess I could throw me in there as well, because you can tell when I'm playing a video game and when I'm doing the podcast, there's clearly a different type of persona in charge at that point. You know, the game inside's my goofy and over-the-top silly type of behaviour, but then when I'm doing podcasts, assuming I don't add to the dumb counter, I try and be more open-minded and try and like let other people like give their forte while also contributing. But these YouTubers, even when I've seen them speak off camera, away from their reviews, I don't see a difference majority of the time. And that's actually kind of sad, given the fact their review persona, as they would say, is a piece of shit and not a funny one.
Yeah, I kind of get how you feel.
I think we should probably wrap up. So we've gone on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. We have a lot to edit. Well, I have a lot to edit.
There's something I've been wanting to talk about with this topic.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, so we talked about certain reactors. We've also talked about some reviewers. I want to talk about just not necessarily specific people, like a specific person, I mean, but just some people just getting toxic depending on when episodes happen. Like, specifically whenever a Roosterteeth character is involved.
Oh, joy. The Death Battle fandom is definitely toxic around that.
Yeah, like, oh, Roosterteeth character is involved. I hate this. I hope they lose out of spite. I even just found a comment under my reaction to Hayachi Geese, just saying they just wanted to see the Ruby character lose.
I think I saw it in my fries earlier.
I'll be brief on this because I think Mate deserves to definitely have this. Like, might be if you don't want a character to win, that's fine, but don't be spiteful about it towards the fans as well.
Okay, what is worse, Mate? What's worse?
I'm really sorry, my armchair is bad.
No, it's a guy I used to watch and actually like.
Oof.
But then after a while, he just became an absolute toxic prick, specifically towards Ruby.
Oh, my goodness. That's sad. Heck, I'm not even that much of a big Ruby fan.
Well, because his OTP turned out to be abusive. Yeah, he was a Toradonna shipper.
okay, like, here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of Ruby. I'm not even going to pretend that, oh, I love this show so much. I want to marry Yang. Even though Yang is my favourite character. And I'm friends with someone called Yang the Insane. I'm noticing a pattern here. I know Mate is a fan of the show, and I'm not going to comment under his video stuff like, oh, I hope the Ruby character loses this, because I just look like a cunt.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it, not me.
Well, it's honestly.
You shouldn't hate a character from a franchise you don't like if someone likes that franchise.
Yeah. And, like, I talk about people just being spiteful towards arty properties, specifically because they're just like, Ruby or Red vs. Blue on Death Battle, Roosterteeth bias, blah, blah, and all that shit.
Ignoring the 2 DBXs where a character got voted out and they still allowed that episode to premiere, and ignoring that 1 episode of Death Battle.
But that only happened to try and say they're not biased. Shut the fuck up.
Do we need to also mention the Red vs. Blue episode, the one where they massacred a large majority of fan favourite characters? Like, and some of them in the most gruesome manner. Like, Griff's death was... They didn't pull any punches with some of the deaths. Though,
yeah, like, Griff was the only one who didn't get, like, a cartoony, silly death.
I will admit, though, Lopez's death was probably the most epic out of that entire fight.
Okay, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And you know why people get this toxic when a Rooster Teeth character is brought up? I don't really understand some of it, but
What's that?
It's people still being mad that they had Yang win against Tifa. Ever since then, yeah, ever since that episode, then Rooster Teeth and Screw Attack became one company. Everyone was like, just trying to say, oh, it's arty bias, like all of this crap, and just basically just voting to boycott anything that arty does aside from Death Battle.
Like, okay, now to be fair, I understand some of the higher ups in Rooster Teeth are not exactly the greatest of people. One of their head animators was an absolute piece of shit. However, being mad at the workers of there, it's kind of like being mad at a till staff member when their managers decide they're not going to sell a certain product anymore. Why get mad at the person who has no power over it?
Yeah, they're just doing their fucking job.
Yeah, that's like getting mad at the janitor, like, why did they stop selling semi-skimmed milk? I don't know, I do my own thing and I just get paid. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to act like Rooster Teeth are the greatest of all time and they're completely pure in heart, because let's be real here, no, every company's probably got some skeletons in their closets, but just because Yang beat Tifa, is that really bad? Like, EA have forced their colleagues to work overnight to finish a game. Heck, Rockstar forced many of their staffs to do unpaid overtime to finish Red Dead Redemption 2, yet people go ahead and say Red Dead Redemption 2 is the greatest game of all time. I'm sensing a double standard here, people.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, admittedly, it's not fun being a Ruby fan and a Death Battle fan sometimes.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Yeah, well, I'm not affected that much by it because I'm not that much of a Ruby fan. So whenever I see people saying we don't want this character to win, I'm like, fair enough. But if it was like a complete reversal and Madara versus Aizen came out, and I'm like, yeah, Madara, and then I just had comments under my video saying fuck Madara, and not in a literal sense, then yeah, I would probably be in Mate's shoes right now because I don't understand the toxicity behind it, or I do, and I just feel like it's unjustified.
Yeah. Like, and if you're still mad about Yang vs. Tifa, congratulations, you've been mad about an internet video for 6 years.
Like, Jesus Christ, man, has it really been that long?
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that episode when it first came out, but over time I kind of feel like it's a bit dated with its animation and stuff like that. But who cares? It's old. You know, if they did this episode now, honestly, if they did Yang vs. Tifa with their current animation department, that would be perfecto. It'd be amazing.
And yeah, I'll admit, if the fight were done today, Tifa would win.
To be fair, look, this is the thing people need to remember. There's so many old death battles that have been done that, you know what, if done now, it would absolutely change, but at the same time, I don't want them to do so many rematches. Save it for, like, matchups that are iconic or, you know, interesting. Like, Yang versus Tifa was just one of those, you know, that's an interesting idea, let's go with that. Whereas, like,
I
hell,
remember this being brought up on Wolf Soul podcast because Liam was a part of it. And I think he said they did plan another episode. I theorized that was probably going to be Tifa versus Sakura from Naruto. And I'm going to throw out a hot take here. If that were the original planned episode, I think Sakura would have won.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. As much as I hate that
Probably,
character,
yeah.
she wins.
Based on how they would have analyzed things back then, I think Sakura would have won.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, hey, even with I've played Final Fantasy remake, Final Fantasy VII remake. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, even with some of the buffs, quote unquote. Yeah, it doesn't change.
Tifa. Oh yeah, no, Tifa would beat Sakura now.
Really? I don't think so.
Well,
No, they would. Like, you know what? We don't have to get into that.
yeah.
I mean, if they ever do that matchup, do. I know, I said it. I'm sorry. I thought I'd say it before mate comments on it. You know what?
It was in my head.
I'll be surprised if Tifa does win that, because I generally don't think so. But hey, I've been wrong before. I said Batman beats Iron Man, and look at me. I was wrong.
You said Akuma beats Shao Kahn. Look at you.
Exactly. Although I did say Kool-Aid Man wins, so I got that.
That's true.
I was just about to say I said Alucard beats Dio, and look at me.
Yeah, so it's fair enough. So I think we've gone on for long now. I think we've spent like over an hour talking about toxic fans. I think we've gotten the point across.
I do.
And I am getting hungry.
I kind of want to. I want to end it with in a way that I did similar with me and Max, and just talking about people being mad about shipping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you listening are one of those people who get bent out of shape over your reaction getting blocked, whether or not characters from a certain franchise win, putting stuff behind a ridiculous paywall,
Yeah.
just being overly negative for views, or just spiting a franchise because of an episode 6 years ago, I pity you.
Yeah. I wish I could be that sad, but no, I'd rather be happy.
You pity the fools.
Just look, take some time, reflect, and I guarantee you will look back and be like, man, it's crazy to think that at one point this was the biggest issue I had in life. And just want to say that I've been like toxic about stuff, and trust me, it is not worth it. All it brings is just sadness.
Yeah. I guess to try and end this topic on a positive note, because that's what I always try and do in my content, there's a time to be mad. There's a time to be sad. And then there's a time where you just have to look at yourself and think, you know what, I don't want to be seen as that guy. If you do want to be seen as that guy, more power to you? Question mark. But Death Battle should not be that. The fandom shouldn't be like that. And I know it's kind of an uphill battle to try and convince probably 50 or more people to change their way. I'm specifically talking about YouTubers, not obviously the hate-dom is probably a lot bigger. But
Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're just talking about an internet show.
yeah, like, you're not doing anything revolutionary, you're giving your forte, and if you're going to be toxic about it, the sad thing is, I know this is going to sound dark, but bear with me, the day you die, this is what you'll be remembered for. This will be forever on your YouTube channel, unless YouTube deletes it for some reason, and this is what you'll be remembered for. And to this day, people might think you're a nice guy. But there are many things that you could look back on that we thought was good and just be like, no, that was toxic as fuck. I can't even watch any of the original James Bond movies just because they do not age well. They are horrid.
Are you talking about how they treat the female cast?
Yeah, or even some original Tom and Jerry cartoons where some of them did blackface. Yeah, that joke.
Oh God, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, those jokes just do not fly anymore. And someday your channel might be seen as that. I'm not saying be completely positive, but just once in a while, like Simon Cowell, smile, you poor bitch. I guess that's the most positive way I can end it on, so I guess we shall wrap up.
Oh, you poor bitch.
Smile, you poor bitch. That's another shirt right there.
Would you kindly leave us a smile?
Yeah.
Would you kindly give us a smile, you poor bitch, as you fuck yourself?
On a shirt. $12.99.
Buy it in the link in the
I
description.
want it all in.
Oh my goodness. Oh, right then, I think we shall wrap up now. It's been over 2 hours. I think this is our longest discussion.
Oh,
I
definitely.
knew it was gonna be.
Whew. I don't even think I'll be able to
Welcome
get this
my
out on
world, you'll be
time.
okay.
I'll try my best, guys. So, with everything said and done, one episode of Lads Discuss Death Battle. If you enjoyed Korra vs. Storm, and if you felt I was one-sided but still entertaining, leave us your thoughts down below. And what do you think of the next time? Who are you rooting for? Please be my boy Madara. And what is your opinion on the...
Hey.
And what is your opinion on the toxic side of the DC, the Death Battle fandom? Don't get me wrong, we'll one day talk about toxic DC and Marvel fans. That will definitely be a third topic. But what do you think about all these subjects we talked about? And if you enjoy Sean and Mate's content, I will leave their links to their channel and Twitters down below. On to you, Only Mate.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Share Bill's content around, keep his channel growing. Go check out what Sean does, go check out what I do. And don't be a toxic bitch. Enjoy life. Have a good day.
And Sean?
Thank you folks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this long discussion of Let's Discuss Death Battle. Leave your thoughts about Korra versus Storm, Madara versus Aizen. If you're rooting for Aizen in the comments, more power to you, and it puts a smile on my face. And let us know your thoughts on toxic fans and toxic stuff in Death Battle in general, because I love reading your comments. Take a look at anything that Bill has down in the description down below.
I recently
And with that
completed
being
Resident
said-
Evil 6. Go watch it.
Yes. And with that being said, thank you folks for watching. And I will see you all later.
Now, if you excuse me, I've got to remove all these toxic tumours I've gotten talking about this subject. Goodbye, everybody.